Hey there, it's Shannon
and Meike.
We're the coaches of Shinebright Career Coaching, and we wanted to just take a minute to talk to you about group coaching. What is it? What are the benefits? And how might you know if group coaching could be a good fit for you? So welcome. All right, so what is group coaching? I think people are quite familiar these days of individual coaching, right? One person working with a coach, moving through a process. And Mike and I have been doing individual coaching with our clients for 11 years now, and have created a proven process to help our clients make successful career transitions and to find more meaning and fulfillment in their career. And we recently launched a group coaching program, and we talked to a lot of people who are like, what is that? I've never heard of that. And so we thought it might be helpful to take a minute to just, break it down, share some insights, because we've been doing it for over a year now, and we've learned a lot about what group coaching is. So we thought we'd share it with you. So let's start with group coaching in the context of, the work that we do is moving our clients through a proven and structured process in a community. So they are moving through this process not alone, but with a group of other people who are in a similar place, who have similar goals, and are being guided by both Mike and I through this process that we've been using with our one-to-one clients for the last 11 years. So that's what it is, but we want to also talk about, why someone might want this and the benefits too.
So there are a lot of benefits to the group coaching program, and let's talk about the three biggest. The first one is what comes up first for a lot of people, which is community. What do you think some of the biggest benefits of group coaching and the community that you gain in that setting are?
Well, so what we hear over and over is that people often feel isolated and quite lonely in a job search, or even just in their kind of musings about maybe feeling lost in their career, or unhappy or frustrated or stuck. A lot of times people feel like, I'm the only one who feels this way. And so there's this idea of being with other people and knowing like I'm not alone, right? There's other people who are having a shared experience, who have maybe had similar struggles, and I don't have to walk through this on my own.
I think that's so huge, and we hear that time and time again when folks finish the program, how meaningful that was to them. But I think there's another element of the loneliness that we hear about when you're going through a job change, or you're trying to anticipate what to do next, is you talk to the people in your lives, you talk to your friends, to your spouse, to your family, and they want to support you, but there's only so far they can go with you. And so that often can feel really lonely when you're the one on a Monday morning looking at, job roles that are posted, and your friends and family might be at work. That's a really, really sometimes unmotivating place to be, and lonely is the word we hear. So when you're involved in group coaching and you are involved in the process we've created for you, you know that, later on in the week, you're going to be showing up for that group, and there's going to be people who are doing the same thing as you, and you're going to hear about how they're moving through it.
Yep. Yeah. And I think too, once you dive into the process we've designed, it can be tough sometimes, right? It can be amazing and feel validating and be illuminating, but it can also be really hard to look at some of the patterns you may be stuck in, to do some of that digging and deeper reflection. And so to, be around other people who are in a similar process, and to see what's working for them, or where they're getting stuck in the process, and then getting support and guidance together makes you feel like, oh, I'm not the only one who's maybe struggling with this, or it's okay that this feels hard, because I can see that the other people who are going through this experience with me are also feeling like, ooh, wow, this is a lot, or this feels hard. And something about that makes it feel like, okay, I can do it because I'm not alone in it.
Yeah, I think that can be really energizing for people. And I think along those same lines, seeing other people's experience and seeing other people grapple with the same assignments, with the same deep thinking that's really self-reflective can also be a really, really rich learning experience. So you show up to tasks and to different types of assignments, if you will, in the way that you interact naturally. And someone might do it differently. And that might feel really inspiring to you to learn from them in the group experience and see how their methods have worked for them. So it's this really layered and deep, rich learning experience in the community as well.
Yeah, and that's been so fun to witness because we'll have clients who are in the group program and they take a new spin on an assignment or an exercise, and it totally inspires the other people in the group to think differently about how they could approach that exercise, or expands their thinking on what's possible for them. And so this idea of, being exposed to diverse, experiences and thinking and backgrounds really does create that rich layered experience that you talked about that you might not get in a one-to-one or individual coaching setting. So, all right.
I think there's another aspect of the community that's unique to our group coaching program as well, is we keep the groups very small. We're really interested in creating an intimate space. So folks just dive in as they sign up. It's a rolling enrollment. And so when you come into that group coaching program, there might be someone that's almost finished. They might be at the tail end. And as you're beginning and to see them, finding clarity, moving forward, ready to get out there and work the plan that they've created in our program can be really inspiring and motivating too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's fun to see. People are like, wow, I'm going to be there in a few weeks or, in a month from now, hopefully I'll be, working on my elevator pitch, or I'll be getting clarity on my career path. And so there's an excitement and a motivation and an inspiration that can come from seeing where other people are. So that's the community aspect. What's another benefit?
So the next one is connection. And we've kind of danced around this a little bit already. But the idea of connection in the group community is something that's so powerful.
Absolutely.
I think, as we've talked about, being lonely is one piece of the struggle, but also there's something in the human experience when we see other people going through things that we are going through, things that we're feeling, it normalizes that for us. And in feeling more normal about what you're going through, you can kind of cut through the tension, cut through the difficulty a little bit more easily, I think, sometimes, and knowing that you're not just alone with this problem.
Yeah, and I think there's just an opportunity to be connected with other people who are also valuing meaning and fulfillment. They want something more from their life and their career. And so the type of people that are drawn to this experience tend to have things in common, or they have some similar things that they're craving from their career. And so there's these opportunities to connect with people that you may not have come across otherwise, that are on a similar journey, that have some maybe shared values, that creates an opportunity to really form some friendships and some connections. And, like Micah said earlier, often when people are finishing up our group program, they're really sad to walk away from the community and the other people, because they've really bonded and they've gone through something together and they've been vulnerable. They've shared parts of themselves that maybe they haven't talked about with other people. And so there's this really beautiful opportunity for connection that comes through that experience.
Yeah, and we do encourage folks to stay connected after the program. Not everybody wants to, but many people do. And it's so nice to hear the stories of where people end up, how this worked to help them move forward towards their goals. It can be really inspiring to have that community carried on past the program.
Yep, absolutely.
So another one that's always a hot topic, I think, when we talk to people about group coaching is accountability. Going through this requires a lot of work, a lot of focus, commitment on the part of the participant. Shannon and I are committed to creating the program and helping you through it, but people have to show up, right? We can't do all the work for them, unfortunately.
Yes.
So accountability is a big, I would say, positive outcome of knowing that community is there expecting you to show up every week, right?
Yeah, and I think, often one of the things that clients are saying when they first come to us is like, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. It feels so overwhelming. And so what we've designed is a very, very structured and step-by-step plan. And like Micah said, there's this built-in accountability. So each week, that you're coming together with other people who are in this same process, but then also with Micah and I, and you're sharing, where you're at and what you've done. And there's something about that gets people motivated, gets people to take action, gets people to commit energy, time, attention to this process that feels really important that might otherwise get, overridden by, the day-to-day life responsibilities, or, at the end of the day, maybe you're feeling tired and you're like, oh, I don't feel like doing my career exploration, but knowing that you're going to have to see, your the other people in your cohort is a little motivator for a lot of people to be like, okay, I got to do my homework. I got to keep up with this because I know people are going to be asking questions.
Yeah, I think that's so true. Sometimes we do show up for others better than we show up for ourselves. And so knowing that there's a group, knowing that folks are going to be sharing what they've done over the last week can be very inspiring and motivating. And you might see that we're saying that over and over again, inspiring and motivating. But those are the things that we see fuel a really, really successful job pivot, career change, starting your own business. The more that you can find motivation in your surroundings and feel inspired, the easier it is to keep taking those difficult steps.
Yeah, absolutely. One last benefit that just popped into my mind for our specific group coaching program is that, as we said earlier, historically, Mike and I have worked individually with our clients, but in our group coaching program, both of us are there. And so the people who are participating in our group program are getting to be coached by both of us and our unique perspectives and our unique coaching styles. And so they're really getting kind of the best of both worlds, which I think is a fun little perk of being involved in the group program as well.
Yeah, it certainly is fun for us.
Yeah.
We like to riff off each other. And I think, again, I just come back to energy. The groups, they can be very heavy. People are talking about, work that we've talked about is challenging, but there is so much humanity in the group, and we bring together so much good energy and wanting to support you that the group program is a unique experience. And as we've said before, it's just deeply layered. There's so many different pieces that can help you find what you're looking for, which is clarity, right?
Yeah. So how would someone know if a group coaching program is the right fit for them? We get this so often. People sometimes feel very pulled between, I don't know if individual coaching or group coaching would be a better fit. And so what would you say if someone is kind of considering both and wanting to know if group might be a better fit for them?
Yeah, I think the first thing is, are you really ready to make a change? It's that word commitment again. So group coaching does have a level of independence to it that the one-to-one has a different level of. And so you have to be ready to show up and commit to the change you want to make and willing to step through the process we've created for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think one of the things we're looking for when we invite people to join our group program is also wanting to be a part of creating a community. So showing up and being respectful, being vulnerable, being supportive to the other participants, showing up with good questions, fully participating in the process, all contributes to creating a really safe, really nurturing and supportive environment for everyone involved. And so if you're someone who wants to be a part of that, who likes the idea of supporting others while also being supported, group might be a great fit for you as well. What else?
Yeah, I love that. I think that self-reflection, you mentioned the word vulnerable. So it is a very self-reflective process, and the group is a place where people are very honest and can be vulnerable. So if you're someone who likes to share and likes to engage in deep conversations, I do believe that this would be a really, really great place for you. And if you're open to trying that and experiencing that for the first time, that would be a great place for you as well. If that feels really scary to you and it doesn't feel like a place that you want to visit, then obviously, one-to-one might be a better fit for you.
Yeah. And I think, oftentimes we do have people who self-describe as an introvert, or maybe they feel shy and they're a little nervous about sharing in a group setting. And over we've seen that oftentimes people end up one or two sessions in, feeling more comfortable, feeling like, oh, wow, this is a safe place. This is a place that I can feel vulnerable. And they see other people kind of stepping up and sharing their struggles or their challenges or getting supported in a way that feels really comforting. And that, allows them to feel safe to also come forward and be vulnerable as well. And so I don't necessarily think you have to be extroverted or super outgoing to really thrive in a group environment.
And I think that also touches on how we structure the group calls. So Shannon and I are really, really committed to keeping these groups small and intimate so that ability to access your vulnerability is there. And we also curate the entire call so people know exactly what to expect, how they should show up in terms of what they've done on their homework for that week and what questions we will be asking. So the expectations are incredibly clear, and I think that makes for a very open and honest space.
Yeah, absolutely. Last thing that comes to mind is if you're someone who is goal-oriented and with some structure and a little guidance, can take steps to, take action, to get things done, and gets motivated by completing things and making progress, and then getting to come and share and ask questions that will support you through that process, then I think the group program would be an awesome fit for you as well. So,
yeah. One last little point on that one. It's also a great program for people who love to work at their own rate. There's a lot of folks out there that like the agency and they like to take off, and the group program is really, really a great fit for those folks too.
Yeah. Hope this was helpful. I hope you got a better sense of what it might be like to be in a group coaching program, and more specifically the Shinebright group coaching program with Meike and I, and some benefits and, maybe how to discern if it might be a good fit for you. So hopefully we'll see you maybe sometime in our group program soon.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Okay. Take care.